Hello and welcome to Stroke by Stroke. I redid my studio area, and because I couldn't get to a lot of my paper, but I was able to find some things. You can see here, these have been through the ringer. This piece is actually a bit dirty because when I was homeless, everything got wet and just all kinds of problems. But this is not mineral paper. I'm going to use the white craft paint. And this has pouring medium and water and paint, and I think it has a little of the oil, but it's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and I put like 3 drops in just in case I was wrong. And now I'm going to put more water in there because I want it nice and thin. Okay. And now I'm just going to move that around. Okay. And I'm just mopping this around. It's white on white, so I'm sure it's not showing very well, and the camera's probably going crazy. It tends to like to do that, so just doing some little textures. Okay, so there's that. And sure, I will spray some of this. And like I said, I don't know. Okay. And I'm going to use one of my palette knife just to move things around a little bit. And I would think that it might be showing pretty well some of those little cells that are happening. You have to remember there's some alcohol in the black, so of course that's going to act differently. And this is a wonderful surface because, so of course is the mineral paper, but this is truly non-absorbent and doesn't react to other things very, very much so. And sometimes I think the mineral paper does. Okay, so there's that smooshed around a little bit. And yes, I'm making up words as I go because why not? Okay, and this is Bottle, which is a brilliant green. And this is alcohol ink. And remember, I'm putting this over acrylic and silicone oil. And so basically I'm doing everything you're not supposed to do. Another reason that I can be very free with what I do is I don't care if this comes out archival. That doesn't matter to me really much at all, because that's not my purpose here. Okay, now I have to get a pair of pliers because I cannot open this bottle. My hands are really hurting. I took off my braces for the video here, but okay. So I have pliers at the ready. Excuse me. Okay. And that's just teak wood is the color. And it's alcohol ink. Okay. And I'm using different techniques here just to see what I like. Because there is a chemical reaction that happens when I use water and ink and alcohol and acrylic. So it changes the viscosity quite a bit. They dry completely differently. So, okay. And I'm seeing a bunch of glare. You guys probably are too. Okay. It's just the nature of working with shiny things. Shiny this time because of it's wet. And I'm going to use a little bit more of the white, and remember this is a mix of all the things. And I'm going to use a brush with some water on it. And let's see if I might be too thick to move, but nope. And this is my little mini torch. Don't know if it's going to make a difference, but. And the reason for using a torch is it can pop bubbles from underneath. So, and this is Artfinity liquid watercolor cerulean hue. So something completely different. So, don't know what it's going to do, but I will after I try it. Let's see what happens. It uses the stuff pretty fast. Okay. And let's see if I can ruin it with a hairdryer. I'm trying to figure out what I want to use next. I think I'm going to try this like here. It's like it's raining black. Interesting. I haven't used my fingers here, so. My inner goth is all about how this black looks. I'm doing this very lightly, kind of like I do with the palette knife. Because I wanted to do weird stuff like that. Almost every one of my paintings ever are experiments. Just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's try it and see. That's why I call them intuitive, because I just do whatever feels like a good idea in that moment. And sometimes it is a good idea, and sometimes not so much. But for me, the freedom to make mistakes and just kind of keep going until I get something I like, that to me is just absolutely imperative in my work. I think it's just that I'm curious. Okay, that was a little more than I intended, but no, I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, and for me, the freedom of, if it doesn't work, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I wasn't always like that. I used to be quite a perfectionist. But it was so anxiety producing to me. And this is just absolutely a blast. I have no rhythm, so I can't do any like dancing, and I have mobility issues anyway. But this feels to me so much like dancing with the colors. And just giving up any expectation of control, and just following where it wants to go. And if I do it too hard, like I just did there, it blends instead of like skims. It's okay. And I just added a little bit of water there. Not sure where that orange came from, but and this is the teak wood again. And this is alcohol ink. And I'm kind of working on balancing the design at this point. See, and that's one of the kind of funny things about how I work is, you know, I see something and I like it, and so I work on trying to work with it, and the next thing I know, it's turned into something completely different. And I'm slowly getting to the point where I've done things enough times that I can begin to predict a little bit what's going to happen. And I just did that to tilt, you know, and move things a little tiny bit. Okay, and I'm going to sort of excavate a spot like right in here. See, one of the nice parts about Yupo is you can go back to the white, more or less. I mean, I don't know if I can make it pure white again, but all right. Now I need to figure out, let's see if this will work. This is Sunburst Brusho. Okay. And that made it look a lot like an egg. And this is some crimson, also Brusho. And this is just plain water. And I am being very gentle with what I'm trying to do here. That is very weird in the middle there. But it's all right. All right. This is either make or break. This is also just a little bit more water. It reminds me a little bit of the Morning Glory pool. I I think is what it's called, in Yellowstone. And this is just paper towel here, but I wanted some clean paper towels, so. And it's wanting to go, like, do something like that. So I will facilitate what it wants to do. And this is very thin. I'll be right with you. It's terrible when my hands don't work right. Okay, there we go. This is very thin Daler-Rowney FW acrylic ink, and it's the white. Okay, so that was the Daler-Rowney white, very thin, and this is 1 drop of silicone oil. And that was just the black mix that I've been using. Let's just see what that does. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to come back here to this crimson. And just a little tiny bit of water. It's just a whisper. I'm not even really touching it much. This is crimson again. And a little bit more water. Okay, there we go. Just tilting it. Giving it an opportunity to follow. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let this, I think I'm just gonna let this dry and then come back and see what I have. Well, I wasn't expecting what just happened. I said not nice things because my hands, they're hurting so much these days. and I picked this up this way and I dropped it, and water went everywhere. So we'll see what this looks like when it's dry. But I did not intend to do that. The universe obviously had some other plans. I'm not thrilled. And it kind of is what it is. Sometimes being disabled is absolutely maddening. It sure did make a mess, but because I was actually pretty happy with this one. And I thought, oh, I'll go clean my brushes and, you know, get rid of the dirty water. And that's what I get for trying to be organized. That rarely happens or goes well for me. I'll get there someday. All right. Well, you can see that it looks a little different. It dried. This is the next day, and I'm not satisfied with how this part looks. So, you know what that means. I think let's see here. This is the very thin down Daleroni FW white acrylic ink. That apparently just wants to make bubbles. And this is Sunburst Lemon Brusho. And this is just water. And that's gonna blow everywhere if I don't dry it a little bit more. Or a lot. And this is just a little bit here of gold acrylic. And I'm just adding some water to it. Okay, and I'm gonna smoosh that around. So that is a very thin gold. And this is the turkey baster here. And it's reactivating some of the stuff underneath, which doesn't upset me. And it's peeling out what was in the center. So I'm just helping it in that process. Okay. And the reason that it peeled out of the middle is because of the combination of materials, acrylic and alcohol and water. I need to get some more gold, either acrylic or watercolor ink. Because I'm officially out now. And this is the gold paint. This is silicone oil. 3 drops. And some water. Okay. So I want this to be nice and thin too. And let's see if it will. Use a pipette. And this is just that same black. And now I've added a lot of water. Well, here goes nothing. It's way too thin. But so be it. This is the same white as before. And this is just the torch again. And this is the teak wood alcohol ink again. And now I'm going to use a toothbrush with some of that gold. And I'm going to spritz it all with some water. And this is the white Polska. And this is a white gel pen. And this is a gold gel pen. And this pen is more of a fine liner. So I keep having to tilt my head because alcohol ink, when it's really thick, is shiny. And so I'm having a little bit of trouble finding or seeing, I mean. Which means you guys might be too. I don't know. Have to look at the video. And I'm doing a jaggedy line purposefully here. And I'm not really putting much pressure on this at all because I don't want it to carve through. I want it to be on the top. And to me, the jaggedy line is much more interesting than a solid, straighter line. Because I want this to be imperfect. And I'm going to use a little teeny tiny brush and clean it up thoroughly. And all I'm doing is just blending that harsh white edge that I had created. I do have a tendency to work from very, very loose and then tightening it in at the end and getting very controlled. But I need that looseness at the beginning so that whatever it is can come through. And then once it does, I've got it. And I'm just taking those big drops that had happened, which I didn't necessarily want to happen, but they did. So I'll turn them into something now. And I'll tell you that liquid watercolor definitely rehydrates. Because that's what is happening right now in this one. Okay. Give that a quick dry and see where I stand. Yeah, I haven't gotten any bleed-proof white. I need to do that. Because it would make this process that I'm doing right now a lot easier. Because that's just going to pick up the blue. Pretty much no matter what. Stupid flies. My cats have damaged the screens, and so if I open a window, I don't have any way to keep flies from coming in sometimes. So, what I'm always telling people, the cats are the reason I can't have nice things. And I wouldn't get rid of them for all money or anything in the world, because they're fantastic, even if they are little terrorists. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. I have had so much trouble with my allergies this year. I don't know why, but I really have. Kind of scrubbing because I want to see if I could get rid of some of that blue there, so the thing I'm trying to do will work. I'll just have to see. And one of the things I really do enjoy when I'm painting is that process of staying abstract, but hinting of something representational. Like, this is abstract, but it could be a landscape. And sometimes I have to use the brush or the pen like on the rough surface of my table to get rid of anything that got stuck. Okay, I am about to believe that that's never going to actually be white. And one of the things that I do instinctively is whenever I'm working in great detail like this, I will shape the brush with my fingers. Okay. It's like no matter what I do, it's just gonna unlock that blue there. It's strong stuff. Of course, representational of what? That's always a good question. Because you're not going to be able to look around and see this unless you look at the picture. I think I may have done it there. Yay. All right, one last little blast with the hair dryer, and I think this image may be finished. Okay. And I'm gonna stand up and look at the camera, because I want to see if it's too shiny. Nope, that's actually good. Awesome. Okay, this has been Stroke by Stroke. I hope you enjoyed this process. I had a blast, and I am very happy with this microphone, and I'm very happy with this picture. So do what makes you happy. I hope you are able to be as gentle with yourself and others as possible, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you in the next video. And I forgot to say, I will be sealing this, but I wanted to do this before I do, because the sheen might be just a little bit too much for the camera and the lights.